Hello, hello. Welcome to Coffee, Sage, and Tarot. My name is Jen. We do tarot over here. Every week, on Thursday, we do for the next week. So this is going to be the weekly reading for December 15th to the 21st. I also have monthlies that I post on my channel if you wanted to check those out. December is now posted and has been for some time if you wanted to take a look. I also do one-on-one readings. If that's something that you're interested in, just shoot me an email. We can make that happen for you. As far as the intro goes, these are general readings. So as much as we try to make them for the collective, there will be some things that I hear from Spirit that are absolutely meant for you, and some things that might miss the mark for you but are meant for other people in the collective there. So just use your best judgment to discern what is right for you and what is not. If you're not really feeling yourself at your sign, just check your other placements and you will find yourself in there somewhere. And if you're really feeling like you want a one-on-one after this, like I said, shoot me an email. We can make that happen for you, okay? That's all I got for the intro. Everything is time-stamped in the description, so if you want to go ahead and click your sign, I will see you there. Let's get started. All right, Aries, let's go ahead and see what the week of December 12th has in store for you. Show me, Aries, please. All right. Knight of Wands, Seven of Swords. You know what's funny? It feels like... Oh, you can't really see that, eh? There we go. What's funny is that it feels like whatever this Knight of Wands is, it's carrying that Seven of Swords with it. So I would just be mindful of where you're directing your energy here or how it's coming out this week, Scorpio. Ace of Wands in the shadow, Six of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. It feels like we are looking out to the future here, or to some sort of unknown, right? And trying to gain clarity on that. Or perhaps even looking to the future and also not at the same time. Maybe you're blocking that, which is where that Seven of Swords is coming in, right? This idea of just deception, how we deceive ourselves, how we allow others to deceive us, just trickery, right? So I'm just wondering what's kind of happening there, because we do have the Seven of Wands as well, right? So just keep a watchful eye, Aries, as we head into this week here. But let's go ahead and get some clarifiers. Page of Wands in the reverse. Show me, Aries, please. Show me, Aries, for the week of... Thank you. Show me, Aries, please. Okay. All right, so a little bit of up and down this week is what I'm seeing. And 10 of Swords in the shadow here. So we have the Page of Wands in reverse, Four of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Empress, Five of Swords, Four of Wands in the reverse. I don't like that. Queen of Swords in the right side up. And then, of course, we had that 10 of Swords in the shadow along with the Three of Pentacles and that Seven of Wands as well coming through. Yeah, it just feels like you're blocking yourself off or guarding yourself this week, like not really letting anything come through, good or bad, right or wrong, with that Four of Cups energy, and then that Seven of Wands popping up in both shadows here. Five of Pentacles, the Empress, Five of Swords, my apologies, Four of Wands in the reverse, Queen of Swords. Yeah, it just feels like perhaps you might be a little bit irritable this week, lack of patience. You might be feeling like really, perhaps even like this pent up energy. And it could be, you could be even aware, Aries, that you might be displacing that in the wrong areas, or like really tempted to go off on somebody. And perhaps you're trying to kind of keep that in check, right? aside from that Four of Wands in the reverse, I'm not really seeing any wand energy and that Page of Wands in the reverse. So it does feel like we're not feeling ourselves here this week. And there might be a little bit more conflict than you would like. And it could present in any number of ways, right? It could be that you have a lot to get done and you feel like you don't have enough time, or it could feel like everything is a distraction this week, kind of distracting you against or away from the things that you actually want to get done this week, right? The Empress popping up here is a really nice stabilizing energy here, and she is in the middle, which I am grateful for. I think you will be this week as well. Just this idea that she almost feels like a calm in the chaos a little bit. For you this week. So kind of this understanding, and then just as well with that Queen of Swords, again, just 2 reassuring points for you in your tarot for this week, because it does kind of point to the fact that there is an awareness here that, okay, things might be a little rough now, but they're not always going to be like this. You know, the holidays for a lot of people actually can be super stressful because there's so much more demand on our time, demand on our pocketbook, demand on our energy. Right. And we're engaging with people that we might not necessarily engage with on a regular basis. So there's just a lot going on during this period of time. And so the Empress popping up here is really lovely to see, just kind of bringing you back to center, literally at the center, and just bringing you back to this idea that it'll be okay. Right. This reassuring kind of feeling for you, which I really like to see, Aries. And then that Queen of Swords here at the end as well. So a little bit of wisdom here. There might be some conflict. There might be some argument here. Though there is a lesson in there, at least what the cards are saying. The Four of Wands, though, is really just the most concerning thing because that is an Aries card. So that speaks to perhaps your week being turned upside down, the week kind of getting away from you, you not really feeling like yourself here, and just it overall kind of feeling off. You know, being quick to anger is something that again, I would caution you about here. But you are trying to find your way. It does feel like that. You are trying to find your way here. It's just that things keep kind of popping up. Like I said, that 10 of Swords, the 3 of Pentacles, and that 7 of Wands. Something wants to come to a close here, and perhaps it's just getting this week over with, and all of these kind of inconsistencies here, or all of these just kind of disturbances to your week. And then next week we can start fresh. Just seems a little bit tumultuous for you here. Okay, let's go ahead and see if there's anything else that Aries needs to know heading into this week. Thank you. The Moon. Yeah, so it could be, so the Moon could mean a couple of things here. What's coming up is that your shadow side is coming through. I get fear, and perhaps this could be you moving from being motivated by fears or by anxiety. It could also be just with kind of that short wick for you this week, Aries. It could be that you're it could be easy, to lose your temper a little bit and kind of let that kind of darker side shine this week, right? It could be that, inside you're just feeling a little lost and overwhelmed. And so you're kind of scrambling to find clarity in your physical realm, in your day-to-day, right? And the chaos outside is a representation of how you're feeling inside, right? 7 of Pentacles, take stock. This idea that we're not going to be in this moment forever, and what doesn't fit, we can leave it, right? If it doesn't matter, if it's not important, we can pluck it out of our garden. Okay, Aries, that's what I have for you. Good luck this week. I wish you all the best, and just keep an eye on that temper. Okay, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. You take care. Leo, hello. Let's go ahead and see what the week of December 15th has in store. Queen of Wands. Is somebody feeling like themselves here? Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. That's really lovely to see. Ace of Wands here, Hanged Man. Yeah, it does feel like you're coming back to yourself a little bit here, which is really lovely. And I'm here for it. Potential soul bond connection, or just coming back to yourself, right? The Leo that I read for really just has kind of been going through it on their own personal journey here. And so this is really nice to see. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers for Leo. Let's get some clarifiers for Leo, please. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. These are not the cards I thought I would pull when we started this. Interesting. 2, 4, 6. One more. One more card for Leo, please. Let's see if we get one. Okay, we get 2. Okay. So Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, we have clarified by the Ace of Swords on its side, Hierophant in the reverse, Nine of Wands, Judgment in the reverse, Nine of Swords in the reverse, Page of Wands, Justice, Temperance here, and 2 of Pentacles in the shadow, along with that Lovers, Page of Cups here, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, kind of facing the opposite direction, 6 of Wands at the back there. It does feel like you're coming back to yourself a little bit, or trying to find your way here. There might be a potential soul bond connection that's trying to come through, or you're trying to weigh out, or it could just be you, right? Elevating yourself, or getting back to this kind of good feeling like who you are, kind of navigating, right, as that Queen of Wands does, and just maneuvering her way through society in her way in order to kind of dominate and get what she wants, right? Heading into your clarifiers here, it's a little bit more of a bumpy road than what I was expecting, just given these cards here. The Ace of Swords on its side, perhaps you're starting to feel like yourself again. I just see some resistance here with Judgment in the reverse, Hierophant in the reverse here. It feels like we're rejecting some aspect of honestly, it just feels like you're over it, Leo. And perhaps it could be over some sort of societal expectation. That's kind of what I'm seeing, and it could be different for each of you, but I'm wondering if you're just not caring this week, or you're just tired of caring about how you look in society, how you show up, what others think of you, some sort of aspect like that. And so we're just kind of releasing that with that Nine of Wands. It's kind of like I'm over stressing about this. I'm over this taking up so much of my time. I'm over the overthinking on it, and I just want to move on, right? And so we have the Page of Wands, Justice, and Temperance here. So I'm wondering if something doesn't come to a head for you this week, or it has already. And so this is kind of the kind of after the climax. Things are kind of, that peak of things. Things are kind of leveling out for you here with Justice and Temperance, right? We're sorting out, how do we find our balance again? How do we find our footing? How do we find ourselves, get back to ourselves? In a way that may have changed for a lot of you Leos, okay? So you're navigating it. And like I said, with that Lovers coming through here, it feels really more like yourself. How are you coming back to who you are and who you want to be, right? Perhaps even for some of you, stepping into something new while shaking off this kind of stress that I see. Okay. Let's get some clarifier or anything else. What? That was my bad. I confused the cards. Anything else here for Leo? Final thoughts, please. That's too many. Any final thoughts, please? Maybe it wasn't my fault. The cards are like, I have more to say. All right. Anything else for Leo, please? Thank you. The Hermit. Interesting. 7 of Cups here, 8 of Wands, 9 of Cups. You're on a journey. Wow. Okay. So you're on a journey for sure, right? We have the 7 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, the 10 of Wands. And like I said on the outset, very much a personal journey here of figuring out this new path. It does feel like with that Hermit in reverse, we're not relying on past experience here. There's a little bit of a newness, a new element, uncharted territories to where you are. Perhaps even you're rejecting your old self in some way, right? This old self that might have been too reliant on how we are viewed by others. And so we're looking to ourselves, some sort of aspect. Okay, that's just one example. We're moving into the Hanged Man and the High Priestess. So a little bit of isolation here, and this idea of standing in our own solitude and trusting ourselves, right? Trusting our inner knowing. And with that Hanged Man, without going too much into it here, just this idea generally that we are whole in ourselves, and we might feel a little bit ostracized. We might feel a little bit alone here, but there is a beauty to that. There is an independence in standing alone. There is a strength in that, right? Kind of giving Leo energy without giving Leo energy with that strength card, right? So that's what I have for you. Really beautiful transition here. And it does feel like there is some sort of change that you're navigating. And it's really nice to see you heading into a little bit of more of a stable environment for yourself, Leo, okay? That's what I have for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you all the best, and we'll see you next time. You take care. Sagittarius, hello and happy birthday. Let's go ahead and see what December 15th to the 21st has in store for you for the last week of Sagittarius season. Time is flying. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's nice. 4 of Wands and Judgment here. Let's take a peek in that shadow. 2, King of Wands. Judgment here. Judgment, 2 of Swords, 2 of Cups, King of Wands here. It feels like, yeah, you're trying to just really focus on you and be the best version of yourself that you can be. Excuse me, getting back to priorities, things that matter. And really just... it feels like a focus on the home, a focus on family here, which makes sense, right? Especially given the time of the year and the season. Let's go ahead and get some clarity. Clarifiers here. Let's get some clarifiers for Sagittarius, please. Let's get some clarifiers. Thank you. This one, thank you. All right, so we've got Ace of Pentacles, the Star, 2 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, the Devil, 2 of Pentacles, Justice on its side, and 6 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. 8 of Wands, King of Swords. In the shadow here, Hanged Man. Yeah, it feels like you're, at least in your shadow energy here, you're really just focused on giving to what you feel is best, right? And really just being the best version of yourself, thinking in the best way possible, just elevating here, right? Learning, growing, and keeping your mind right. Disciplined. There's an opportunity here. I'm wondering if this is... This feels like Capricorn season, okay? As we head into the new year here, this feels more like a timeline. We're trying to figure out what's next, and where you fit in. There's a choice that I'm seeing here that you're either delaying or saying you're not going to make until Capricorn season, until the new year here. But there is an opportunity that's come up. And I wonder if that's why you're saying you want to be the best version of yourself here. Or you're kind of saying there's this opportunity that's come up, but right now is the time that I need to spend with my family. I need to spend on what matters here. And then I will tend to this decision a little bit later. You're picking where you're spending your energy here, that's for sure. So it feels like, yes, you see this ace, and it is something that is important here, but it feels like we are kind of thinking of that, or keeping that in the back of our head as we are trying to remain present through this week and through till the end of the year here. Are there any final thoughts for Sagittarius? Interesting. I wonder what this opportunity is. Yeah, so the star is now showing up twice. King of Swords here. Just using your best judgment, right? And it feels like there's something here that's coming that you want to think on, or that is important, right? It is important. And you're kind of saying, using that king energy, now is not the time. I will deal with it in due time, right? And so this idea of almost delaying that, again, until Capricorn season is really what I'm seeing. Till the new year here. The star, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles here, Five of Swords. Two of Cups. Yeah, it feels like given the right time, or in time, you will figure out how to navigate this star. It's almost like perhaps there's an opportunity here, or there's something being presented to you and you're saying, I need to analyze this later. And so that's what I'm seeing here with that star. We don't have time for it yet, because you want to sit with it and give it the weight and give it the time and amount of reflection that it deserves, the amount of thought that it deserves. And right now you don't have that. Right now we're focusing on family. We're focusing on tidying up the end of the year, reflecting on what you've done to this point, how far you've gotten, and where you have yet to go. Okay, so nice period of reflection to sum up Sagittarius season for you. And you look great. You look great. I want to know what you decide. I want to know what this opportunity is. It looks pretty fun. Thank you so much, Sagittarius, for stopping by. I wish you all the best, as always. And we'll see you next time. You take care. Capricorn, hello. Let's go ahead and see. Words are hard today, okay? I apologize. Like, let's go. Where are we going? Or maybe I'm just distracted. I don't know. But let's go ahead and see what the week of the 15th has in store for you. Show me Capricorn, please. Show me Capricorn for the week of December 15th. Thank you. Five of Wands and the Sun. It feels like you're jumping back in here. It feels like you're jumping back in. You're getting engaged. Whereas before you were kind of half in, half out, or dipping your toe in, but really just kind of not focused on your environment here. It feels like you are kind of finding your footing again with that Five of Wands and just actively participating, right? You got to show up to the party. You got to show up to engage. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here for you, especially with that sun as well. It does feel like, yes, okay, there's no secrets, right? In the sun, there's no shadows there. But this feels really nice, right? I'm just picturing that warmth here and just that almost like renewal is the word that's coming here. King of Cups, and this idea that, yeah, we might not be feeling our whole selves here, but there's a lot that we can celebrate. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here for you, Capricorn, okay? Finding the silver lining, right? Cup half full kind of energy here. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's get some clarifiers here. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. Let's get some clarifiers here for Capricorn. Let's get some clarifiers for Capricorn. Anything else, please? Thank you. Okay, well, okay. It's funny. It's like we're halfway there. You're getting there. You're getting there. Yeah. All right, so just coming into here first, we have that Hierophant, the Five of Wands, right? Which in the clarifiers has jumped to the shadow. So it's like we're here, but kind of, right? And then we have that followed by the Nine of Wands and that Four of Pentacles. So this just feels like it's telling me a lot. Despite it being in your shadow, it's this idea that, yeah, we're engaging and yeah, we might be here, but we're tired and we already are over being here. It's almost like we're here. Yeah, we're showing up, we're engaging here, but we're over it, right? And then with that Four of Pentacles here, it's just giving me this energy of there's a couple of things. It's giving me this energy of we're just like we're forcing this, right? But for good reason, but also this idea of Capricorn, you're 2, 3, and 4. So it feels like we're at a turning point in whatever this cycle is for you, where you have come back into society a little bit. You're kind of engaging a little bit more than you have been, at least for the Capricorn that I've been reading for. You're engaging a little bit more in society, which is nice, but you're kind of like, why am I doing this to myself? Kind of idea. You're here, but you don't want to be here, but you're showing up more willing to be here than you have in past, if that makes sense, in the past couple weeks. Coming into your clarifiers, we have that Nine of Pentacles, King of Swords, Hanged Man, Eight of Pentacles, all very good energy. And then we kind of like teeter off and we're like, okay, Empress on its side, Magician on its side, Four of Cups on its side. And the Hierophant, right? The face we show to society, the people that we lean on, the kind of figures in place in society that we look to, right? Honestly, overall, what I'm getting from that Hierophant energy is just the face we show to society. And this idea of, yes, okay, we are engaging and we might start off the week strong, but then we kind of fizzle out a little bit, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting here, right? You are perhaps feeling more connected, more grounded than you have been in the past couple weeks, which is really good to see. It feels like you're making good headway, like you've been working hard at this, working hard at really, trying to look at this kind of cup half full, really be grateful, especially as we head into this season as well. The Magician, the Empress on its side, it's kind of like you're getting to that point where it's like we're so close to feeling good, or feeling better, or for me, Like I said, words are hard. More feeling more like your authentic self here. It's not taking it, we're getting to a point where it's not taking so much energy, effort to feel our kind of sense of normal is what I'm seeing here, right? But it is still, we're still at this place where it's kind of exhausting. Maybe we want to hermit a little bit more than we are, but the good news is that you're showing up here. Yeah, totally. The Chariot here, Seven of Wands. Yeah, so Seven of Wands really kind of speaks to your resistance. You're still going there. You're still heading in this direction, very much moving forward with that Chariot energy. But we're kind of like, do we have to? Do we have to, right? That hesitation is there. With that Two of Swords, Queen of Cups, though, ultimately kind of guiding you, right? Guiding you from the inside, this idea of we're going where we're going and we're doing what we need to do, right? We're doing what we need to do to fill our cup here. That Chariot energy, consistency, right? And really kind of speaking to that energy that I said in the outset here. We're doing the thing. Maybe we don't want to do the thing, but we're doing the thing and we want to be doing the thing a little bit more than last week, okay? So Capricorn, I'm here for it. I'm loving it. It's good to see you kind of stepping back into your life a little bit. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. And thank you for being here. It means the world to me. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time and you take care. Taurus, hello. Welcome to Coffee, Sage, and Tarot. Let's go ahead and see what the week of December 15th has in store. Show me, Taurus. Show me, Taurus, please. Thank you. The Fool. Oh. All right. We have the Fool and that Two of Cups, Queen of Wands, a High Priestess, the Empress. So good energy on the other side of that Two of Cups here. So it could be, you know, could be some fire sign on the other side of this. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius here. It could just be you having a good understanding of where you want to go, where you want to take this this Two of Cups relationship here, and understanding and accepting kind of what it means to you and how you can enjoy it, right, in the here and now, and be present with it. The Fool, some lighter energy here, which is great. I love to see it. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers here. Nine of Cups. Let's get some clarifiers for Taurus, please. Let's get some clarifiers for Taurus. It's funny, I find myself feeling hesitant, and I'm wondering if that's you're feeling hesitant as we head into this week. Like, this is not like what's going to happen here. You know what I mean? Let's get some more clarifiers here for Taurus, please. And last one. Thank you. Yeah, okay. There it is. There it is. All right. Judgment. Okay, so we're making a little bit kind of a full circle here. In your shadow, we have the Eight of Wands, Judgment, Ten of Swords, and that Queen of Wands, right? We're moving toward an ending of something for sure here. And it looks like once it's done, you move on, like you're, yeah. Once this is done, you move on. And it really doesn't feel like you look back. the cycle just closes in different on the different planes for you, okay, is what I'm seeing in your shadow here. Coming into your clarifiers, we'll see what's going on. 9 of Cups, 2 of Swords, Magician on its side, Strength upside down, Justice, 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords in the reverse as well. Yeah, it's, so again, I'm seeing, okay, let me back it up. So this full energy, it feels like we want to cut and run, but everything here is really telling another story. Like, this Fool has lead feet. And I'm wondering if things are getting a little heavy for you, Taurus. And so you're showing me, I just want to run away. I just want to walk away. I just want to be done here, because how things are going is not easy. I have the Nine of Cups. There's that ending there, right? That we're feeling on different layers here. So something happens. We'll start there. Something happens in your physical, right? Or within you, okay? Just because you are Earth sign, it could be one or the other. So just take it as it resonates for you, Taurus. Something could be ending within you. You're saying, I'm done with giving my attention to this matter. Or something in the physical could be ending for you, okay? And then you start to feel that, the ripples of that ending through intellectual, like through your thought, right? The idea that, or the kind of solidifying truth that is coming to an end. The emotional kind of awareness of, okay, how am I going to exist without this kind of idea, right? Going through all those different layers, feeling that on all these different planes. Something's coming to an end here. That Nine of Cups showing up here, it feels like you're just looking composed, right? Presenting a certain face to society. Meanwhile, there is a little bit of turmoil that has been happening for you, Taurus. And it feels like you're just hesitating. We're unsure here. What really kind of concerns me the most is that Strength in the reverse position here. It feels like you're not trusting yourself. It feels like you're not knowing which way to direct your energy here. And Taurus, I feel like that is a problem for you, because when you're unsure, there's a little bit of irrationality that I can kind of see here, especially with that Queen of Swords, right? She can be great when she's right side up. She can own her truth. She can own her wisdom. She can listen and also deal in hard truths. When she is in reverse, she becomes a little bit ruthless, a little bit cutthroat, a little bit mean, right? And so I just want to be mindful of that. I want you to be mindful of that as you head into this week here. It just feels like something has knocked us off, or we're just kind of tired of what we've been going through here. And just not really sure of how we're feeling, especially as it relates to this ending here. It could be an ending that you're deciding with Justice and the Ten of Pentacles here for some of you, okay? It feels like, yeah, it could be an ending that you have decided on, but this idea of now we have to go through that ending and feel that ending, and we're not feeling so good about it. Perhaps some of you are thinking, did I make a mistake, right? As it relates to this Two of Cups. For some of you, that Two of Cups, it could be enjoying yourself without it. Okay, take it as it resonates here, but it's a heavy week for you, Taurus. So just give yourself the time, the patience to be kind of aware of that as we head into this week here. And yeah, it very much does feel like we want to move past this energy here. I don't blame you at all. But there is some sort of focus on letting go and how we release this here, right? So I get the idea that we don't want to be here, but we're here. There we are. Lots of cards. We're kind of like, why do we have to deal with this? There we are. Yeah, even the cards are like flying. So I've got the Page of Wands here, Page of in the shadow, Page of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups in reverse. So there is that ending, right? Again, so whatever is happening here, it is closing a loop kind of in a major way for you, Taurus, and you're feeling it, right? You're feeling the good, the bad, the ugly of this ending here. The more I look at this, the more I am convinced that this is an ending that you are manufacturing for yourself, and you're kind of like, I'm not a fan of this, but I'm a fan of myself more. And so we need to make sure that this is what we need to do for ourselves. So you're taking control here, taking ownership, but not necessarily feeling the greatest about that decision, right? Yeah, just be a little patient with yourself, right? Just be a little lenient with who you are, where you're headed this week. Page of Wands, Devil energy, and the Star. The last thing I'll say is perhaps we're ending this because I thought this Two of Cups was a good thing. Perhaps the Two of Cups is a bad thing, and you've seen that. You've seen that to be the case. I'm just getting Page of Wands, Devil, and the Star with that Five of Cups here. For some of you, it feels, and it does feel important to say this before I close it off for you. Whoever this Two of Cups is, for some of you, it feels like it wasn't meant to be, or there was, potential here at some time. But with that Devil energy, I'm just cautious of perhaps they've corrupted your star. And that's why you're kind of feeling a turn here. They took advantage in some way. And now you know that there's an ending that needs to happen, but you're not happy about it. And so there's this, you're literally going through all the feels here. Because this ending, it feels like perhaps there was even some betrayal there. Okay? So that's what I have for you. Just be patient with yourself. Just be lenient with yourself. And I totally get that urge to kind of jump away, far away from this energy here, but you got to feel it. You got to lean into it in order to have that ending come to a close, and so that you can come out a better person. Okay. And again, develop into who we're meant to be, right? The universe always throws us hard tests here, but nothing more than we can handle. Okay. This seems like it's getting to your limit, though, I will say. Okay, Taurus, I'm sending you love and light. I wish you all the best today and always, and we'll see you next time. You take care. Virgo, hello. Let's go ahead and see what the week of December 15th has in store for you. The World and Five of Pentacles here. So we're moving on. For sure. Moving on and trying to manifest some change here. So I like that. That's awesome. The World, something's coming to an end here, right? We're walking away from something here in a major way. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers to see what this week has in store. Okay. Okay. Anything else here for Virgo? Okay. All right. Knight of Cups in reverse, Five of Cups in reverse, Strength, Ace of Swords, Seven of Wands, Ten of Cups, Emperor, and Justice here. So it seems like you've made a decision for yourself to do something for you and move from a place of like putting yourself first in some sort of aspect here as it relates to this dynamic here, and I am all for that, Virgo. That's amazing. Knight of Cups in the reverse, Five of Cups in the reverse here. I'm wondering if you're putting an end to some sort of aspect of seeing yourself in the as the victim in this dynamic. Like we're like, okay, we're moving away from that and moving more into action here. Right, just I'm focusing on this stagnant energy of the Five of Cups, like just sitting there kind of in this idea of, yes, we're processing what's happened here, but it's kind of this cup is half full kind of energy. And we're kind of moving away from that, right? It's in the reverse position, and we're moving into perhaps a new perspective as it relates to this dynamic here with that world, right? It does feel like and the Ace of Swords kind of clarifying here, like a perspective shift. And it's kind of like, okay, we're moving more towards action here. Moving on from this situation. So yeah, it feels like we're moving out of that kind of cup half full, more into cup half empty, and maybe not into a cup half full kind of mentality, but at least starting to try, right? And really kind of doing this kind of step away from this stagnant energy that wasn't really productive for you. And we're kind of saying, okay, I know who I am. I know what I'm made of. I know what I'm capable of, and I can move on and go after what I want to achieve and be successful in that vein, right? So it does feel like you're making this choice for the betterment of yourself, which is really lovely. And it does seem like you're moving forward with purpose, Virgo, as we head into this week. With that Five of Pentacles, by no means are you, have you got it all figured out? I think you know that. I think you're very aware of that. But this is like starting stages, or very close to that, where it's this idea of, okay, it's kind of determination here, right? We're moving forward. We know where we've been, and we know we don't want to be there anymore, right? This Eight of Swords here to the Ten of Wands. Yeah, again, that cycle is closing here. Perhaps looking at an older version of ourselves and kind of being gentle in releasing that version of ourselves here, right? This idea that change is necessary in this dynamic here, which is something I feel like you're acutely aware of. But kind of this recognition of who we were is not who we're supposed to be until the end of time. And so we're kind of moving away from that version of ourselves here. Okay, Virgo, beautiful week ahead for you. I love to see it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you all the best, and you take care. We'll see you next time. Libra, hello. Let's go ahead and see what the week of December 15th has in store for you. There we are. All right. He popped out on its side, but he moved right side up. So that's what we're going to do. We have the Nine of Cups and the Sun, along with the Nine of Wands, Page of Cups, the Chariot, Five of Swords here, Ace of Swords, the Lovers. Well, your shadows tells a story all its own here, but we're not going to go too far there. We're just going to keep it here. Oh, I just want to keep going back and back and back and back. The Sun, Nine of Wands, Page of Cups, and Chariot energy here. It feels like you're keeping everything contained and you're doing a good job of it. However, with that Sun energy, there's this kind of awareness here that we're kind of at our limit or at our max in some way. And it's like, okay, let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. Page of Cups to that Chariot energy. It does feel like there's somebody who might be a Cancer, or the universe might be gifting you this person or this thing or this new dynamic here in order to keep you staying consistent. Okay, let's go ahead and get some clarifiers for Libra, please. Let's get some clarifiers for Libra. Let's get some clarifiers for Libra, please. Thank you. There's that Five of Swords again, Eight of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles here in the shadow. Queen of Cups, Five of Swords, Eight of Cups, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, like I said, keeping a good job of keeping things contained here this week, Libra. It feels like, though, with that Queen of Cups energy and that Five of Swords, Eight of Cups, what are you keeping contained? And should it continue to be that way? Should we continue on keeping things neat and tidy in the way that you are? Or is there an opportunity to release some things and kind of make a little bit of room for you going forward here? Okay. Is there anything you need to walk away from or remove yourself from, right? Is the question that Spirit is posing to you here. Death in the reverse, the Moon, Queen of Swords, Nine of Wands, right? Popping in out of the shadow and into your clarifiers here. Two of Swords in the reverse, that is a Libra card, so it could be that you are not feeling yourself here, okay? Especially with that Ace of Swords in the reverse as well. And then we do have that Three of Pentacles on its side. It feels like you are resisting starting something new, or doubling down on where you are. I'm wondering if you're being perhaps a little bit stubborn here. You're really trying to... It's funny. It's like we're really trying to keep everything under wraps here. Like, yeah, no, we're good. But we're with the sun here. It's like you can't hide from the sun. Like, everything is not what it seems for you, Libra, this week. And I'm really kind of seeing that as this unfolds here. We're resistant to some sort of period of change. Scared of where that change might take us, right? Or what it has in store for us in terms of, is there more... is there more that we have to deal with? Like, why can't we just sit back and enjoy? It feels like this is a bit of an uphill battle for you, Libra, here. And perhaps that's why we're resistant to it and why we don't want to do that work at this time. Although, if we're truly honest with ourselves here, we do understand that there is a little bit of some things that we could do without, right? At least that's what I'm seeing here, especially with that Queen of Swords, that wisdom, that knowing here that we are not feeling like ourselves. We are doubling down on something that maybe we shouldn't be, and refusing or hesitating on starting something new, and allowing that change to come through and kind of transform us in the way that maybe we don't want, but maybe we need, Libra, at this time. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some final thoughts for Libra here. Show me, Libra, please. Any final thoughts for Libra? Page of Cups and the Moon. Yeah, so it feels like we don't want to deal with this. We're just going to kind of check out and enjoy ourselves, right? And just kind of have fun. We don't want to deal with this energy right now. We're not here for it. It's almost like you don't want to see where you're headed. Or maybe you do, but you don't. You want to see where you're headed, but not if you're not going to like where you're going kind of idea here. Interesting. And so we're like, you know what, we're just going to enjoy the holiday season. We're going to enjoy where we are and just, you know, we'll deal with it later, is what I'm seeing. So yeah, you look composed, but underneath the surface, there's a little bit more going on than what meets the eye for you, Libra. Excuse me, this week, okay? And again, it's just you're not really looking like yourself here, okay? That's what I have for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. And we'll see you next time. You take care. Libra, I came back to say the contrast between the sun and the moon. It feels like you want to hide from some aspects of yourself here. And you're not ready to be in that sunlight. It's like, it's blinding. It's too blinding. And there's this idea of we just want to escape a little bit. And not fully confront the truth or admit the truth about some sort of situation or dynamic, right, as it presents on the board here. And so it just seems with that Page of Cups energy, you're choosing to ignore it rather than face it head on. And that could be what you're showing me here this week. Eventually, you're going to have to face it, especially with that Five of Swords here, you know. And in essence, it feels like the cards are saying, you know better, Libra. Because you're just going to have, if you're not dealing with this now, you're just going to have to deal with it later. Okay. That is what I have for you. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. You take care. Aquarius, hello. Let's go ahead and see what the week of December 15th has in store for you. The sun. This has been popping up for a lot of the signs, so that's really nice. About half, I would say. So that's really nice to see. And then we do have that Seven of Wands here with the World. Okay. So something, it feels like you're delaying an ending here, but you see that. You see that to be the case here, and we're unsure of what to do. It feels like we're hesitating to move beyond that. What happens after that World card comes and does its thing, right? Let's go ahead and get some clarity for you in this week, Aquarius. There you are. Yeah, there's a hesitation to an end here in some way. Magician, you're rejecting it. Why? Wow. Aquarius, I rarely see you like this. This is, Interesting. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to clear up the cards here. Okay, very weird here. Yeah. In your shadow here, we have the Nine of Cups, the Devil, the Chariot, Temperance, Ace of Pentacles here. It feels like you're being a little too rigid here. It feels like you're being a little too one-sided in how you're maneuvering here. We're thinking perhaps even like an all or nothing mindset, and we're refusing to see, you know, the gray area, if you will, here. Just a little bit like really digging your heels in here and being a little more than a little stubborn. Okay, this week, with that Temperance and that Ace of Pentacles energy, I'm wondering if your intentions are good and you just kind of got off track a little bit here. Or you're like, no, this is for the benefit of this. This is so that I can do this. You know, like And so it's like there's this idea there, but it's just getting lost in execution in some way. Okay, take it as it resonates, Aquarius, but it just feels like we're being a little bit stubborn. And this energy here is just way off for you, Aquarius. Something is up here, right? Like, and again, it could just be like that you're so super resistant to whatever this world card is trying to do for you, whatever this ending is that's trying to happen, right? So in your clarifiers here, we have the Two of Cups, the Star, and it should actually go like this because the Two of Cups came up first. So we have the Two of Cups, the Star, 10, which is you, the 10 of Pentacles, Magician in the reverse, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, Page of Wands on its side, and 6 of Pentacles on its side. Yeah, it just literally, it feels like the energy has like 52 card pickup is what I'm feeling here for you. And it just feels like, did you get blindsided by something here that you're not, that you didn't expect? Aquarius, and I mean this with the deepest respect here, you play chess all the time, even when people just want to play checkers. You're over here strategizing and plotting it out, right? And so it just feels like something happened that we didn't expect, and so it threw you for a loop here. Could even be an unexpected ending here, and now we're kind of like, okay, sorry, what do we do with this? Is kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. It just feels like everything is off track. Some ending in your physical landscape here. So something you give your time, energy, and effort to came to an end that it feels like we weren't really anticipating. In fact, we might have been pushing for or trying to manifest a different ending. And this is what kind of slid in instead here. Perhaps some sort of partnership was not what you anticipated it to be. Or something impacted you and that Two of Cups dynamic here. Yeah, it's just kind of like we were working so hard on something and then we just kind of blew it up, or something blew it up. And we're kind of like, well, okay, well, what do we do now here? Yeah, where do we go from here is really what I'm seeing. Like, no, I didn't want this. Okay, where do we go from here? And so it feels like with that Nine of Cups energy, this idea of doubling down on perhaps even trying to keep this going, keep this from ending, right? With that Seven of Wands showing up here, which kind of feels, Aquarius, as you know, like a fool's errand. But why are you being so stubborn? Why are you being so stubborn and trying to keep this going forward in a way that I'm wondering if you're trying to undo this here this week. Interesting. Let's get some final thoughts here for Aquarius. I'm going to read them all. High Priestess, Seven of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Justice here, Knight of Swords, Queen of Wands. Okay, so you're going to get a handle on it. I mean, you will. High Priestess, Seven of Cups, Two of Pentacles here. What is your gut telling you? What is your intuition telling you? Because it feels like whatever that is different from what you're showing me on the board. So let's try to listen to that. Yes, this might have completely knocked you off track, but let's take it for what it is and how do we move forward, right? Seven of Cups here, you're to the Two of Pentacles. You're navigating that way. You're figuring it out. is what I'm seeing here. You will figure it out. Justice could be a legal matter. Could be something that you weren't expecting in terms of legal documentation, paperwork, something like that. Something maybe fell through in a way that you weren't anticipating. Okay, or it could be that you made a decision and what happened was the opposite of that, or something that you weren't expecting, right? We have A, we have B, and C happened, okay? Either way here, you're going to figure it out. It just feels like a bomb exploded. And you're like, whoa, what? And you're taking a minute to get your feet underneath you again, okay? Aquarius, this is what I have for you. Yeah, just major clarity with the sun. The sun feels like a tower in this a little bit, or it could be that the tower quickly preceded the sun here for you, okay? Aquarius, this is what I have for you. You're going to get it sorted. Of that, I have no doubt. It's just a little bit of a WTF kind of moment here for you, okay? I wish you all the best today and always, and thank you so much for stopping by. You take care. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and see what this week has in store for you. Show me Gemini for the week of the 15th, please. Show me Gemini for the week of December 15th. All right. Okay, so you're walking away from something here, Gemini. And you feel that in your physical landscape here. It makes things a little bit more difficult for you, a little bit more challenging for you here, but you understand that that's necessary here, especially with that King of Wands and that King of Pentacles behind it. You're like, I am better off without whatever this thing is that I'm leaving behind than I am with it, and I will see more success without it. I am better off in a lot of different aspects without it. Gemini, let's go ahead and get some clarifiers here for you. It's nice to see you that showing that much conviction here. Okay. Anything else here for Gemini, please? Thank you. Okay. So we have the Seven of Cups on its side, Four of Swords on its side, then we have Death, King of Swords, Six of Pentacles in the reverse, Hermit, Devil on its side, King of Pentacles in the shadow, along with Strength. And that Four of Cups and Justice behind it here. So we're moving on for sure. There is some change and transformation that's taking place, and you're like, it's for the betterment of me. I understand that. I understand that I need to do what's best for myself, and that's what you're doing moving forward here. Changing your priorities, right? Changing where you're expending your energy to. It could be that whatever it is that we're walking away from this week, Gemini, was really deeply ingrained in your day-to-day. And so we have to kind of walk back our day-to-day and walk back what we give our energy to, where we're showing up. Perhaps this is really changing how you show up for your priorities here. Perhaps this was an important priority that you are now needing to change. With that Six of Pentacles in reverse, right? There's a period of reassessment that feels like is happening here. The Hermit, you are tending to yourself. Very much this feels like something that you need to do for you here. Devil on his side. Perhaps you saw wherever this was going, and there's this understanding that it wasn't for you, it wasn't benefiting you, and there was potential for danger here, for damage, right? And so it was almost maybe not a want to, but a need to leave this behind, whatever this is here. And again, that King of Pentacles showing up in that Strength. Again, showing up in your physical environment here. Could be a job, could be a business decision, could be a business partnership here. Something definitely in your physical landscape, right, is affected, and that's what's showing up here. Strength. you're doing this because you need to, is really what I'm seeing for you, Gemini, this week, okay? You're walking away. You're being brave. You're being brave. Anything else here? Ace of Cups, strength. So strength showing up again. Strength, it could be that this is quite a challenging time for you, quite a challenging week ahead. And Ace of Cups here, new emotional connection or opening that up, perhaps a flood of emotions, right? That we've been keeping contained for some time. So perhaps an emotional release for some of you, okay, is really what I'm seeing here. Like just like even watching a commercial and then all the tears come, right? At, you know, a 15-second commercial, and then you're just like bawling your eyes out afterwards. That kind of emotional release where it's almost so much has been pent up that after that happens, we feel lighter because of everything that we've been carrying within us. Okay, for some of you that could be the case. For others of you here, it really does just feel like, kind of in a similar vein, we are opening our own cup. There is an opportunity here to connect back to these emotions that perhaps we weren't feeling for some time, or allowing ourselves to feel in some sort of capacity here. And it does take great strength to come to terms with that. There's a fire that I'm sensing, almost an urgency here. So again, take that as it resonates for you, Gemini. But you're being brave this week, and it's always good to be brave. It's always good to be brave. Okay, that's what I have for you. I'm sending you love and light, as always. And thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you all the best this week, and we'll see you next time. You take care. Cancer, hello. Let's go ahead and see what the week of December 15th has in store. Show me Cancer, please. Show me Cancer, please. Knight of Cups and the Emperor. Four of Cups, Page of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. The Emperor here, so taking control, taking charge, exerting your control over society in some way here, taking ownership of something. But then we have that Four of Cups, right? Which is you. That is a Cancer card. But like the Cancer card, like resisting, right? Resisting something, refusing to budge here is kind of what I'm seeing. As that Four of Cups. Of course, we're going to clarify everything. Page of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. I'm wondering if you're resisting a person who's trying to show you a different perspective. And you're saying, no, this is what I'm doing. I've got it figured out. I've got it sorted here this week. Okay, Cancer. Knight of Cups, a little bit of self-reflection here, right? Or doing what you need to do in order to fill your cup, right? Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers. Let's get some clarifiers for Cancer, please. That High Priestess card keeps wanting to pop out, but it didn't. All right. Okay. Knight of Cups is clarified by Justice, King of Wands, Three of Cups in the reverse. That's also a Cancer card. 8 of Wands, 10 of Cups in the reverse, 5 of Cups in the reverse, Empress, 5 of Pentacles, Hermit, Death in your shadow here. I'm wondering if the universe is trying to tell you or nudge you to say it's time to take ownership here, and is presenting somebody who's trying to offer you a different perspective than the one that you're currently carrying, and you're resistant to that. And you're kind of so occupied with doing things your way and filling your cup in your way that you're not necessarily open to perhaps a different way you can go about doing or achieving whatever it is that you're trying to make happen here. King of Wands and Justice, you're on the fence on something here, perhaps refusing to make a decision or not wanting to make a decision as of yet. Three of Cups in the reverse, you're not feeling like yourself, and that's showing. It just feels like a perspective shift. And I'm just getting like conflicting information, and perhaps you're conflicted this week, Cancer, because it feels like, yes, we want something different than what we have here. But then when we get that opportunity presented to us, or when it's almost like, yeah, we want something different. And then Spirit is like, okay, well, you have to work in order to do that something different or achieve that something different. Cancer, we're kind of like, well, no, we don't want it then. Kind of, that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. There's a resistance, like... I'm just getting a resistance to whatever is on the board here, and just feeling a little bit confused. I mean, the good news is that the Empress is there, right? And so when she comes in, it's like she's the mother of the tarot. So it just reminds us to be gentle with ourselves, nurture ourselves, make sure we're doing what we need to do for ourselves, and enjoying kind of the present moment, being in that present moment here. So, you know, you could be on your own roller coaster this week, Cancer, for a good portion of it. But then with that Empress kind of at the end there, it feels like there is maybe some stable ground or some stable land that we reach at the end of this week. But you're left kind of feeling lacking, wanting more, wanting something here out of this experience. This week, unsettled, unsatisfied, just another sign had this too, kind of like a WTF kind of moment here. The Emperor showing up again. Page of Pentacles. I'm wondering if the Emperor is showing up. So we have the mother, right, showing up in the clarifiers here. We have the Father showing up in the shadow, and the Father showing up as your final thoughts. This is a tough one. It's... I feel like there's some sort of ownership, some sort of accountability that Spirit is trying to come through and say here. Page of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Six of Cups, let's see what we have, right? Let's look at what we have objectively, realistically. Let's see what matters. And let's act from remembering what matters. Interesting. I'm not going to lie, Cancer. It just feels very complicated here. I'm wondering if the Emperor is coming through to say we have to make this decision. We have to figure this out. You can't keep avoiding here. And being in the present and feeling like that's okay. We have to take some sort of action here. Almost forcing you to make a decision, it feels like. Okay, this week, Cancer. Yeah, I wish you all the best here. It doesn't, you feel unsettled, okay? It feels just unsettling. You feel there's confusion here, just very clouded, and, you know, it feels like we are coming out of this here, but the universe spirit is definitely trying to say, let's make a decision here, okay? Cancer, this is what I have for you. Took a little bit. But we got there. Thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you all the best, and you take care. We'll see you next time. Scorpio, hello. Let's jump right in and see what the week of December 15th has in store. Show me Scorpio, please. Okay. 8 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, and 4 of Wands. The Lovers, 3 of Pentacles. Finding the joy in your home here, celebrating, right? And I feel like that does make sense with just the seasons as well. Just really focusing on the home, focusing on what matters, and renewing those connections, right? And perhaps even starting new ones, new meaningful ones, as we head into this week. 8 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. They're both standing in solitary is what I was going to say. They're both standing alone, right? And I'm wondering if this is seeing the negative versus seeing the positive, and your kind of back and forth with that, Scorpio. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can't get some clarifiers here. Show me Scorpio, please. Show me Scorpio for the week of the 15th. Okay. Show me Scorpio, please, for the week of December 15th. Thank you. Okay. So that Knight of Swords is coming through in both shadows here. Knight of Swords to the Emperor, and then we have Knight of Swords to the Hermit, and then there you are underneath that. Okay, the Star, 2 of Cups, 4 of Wands, Queen of Wands, 3 of Cups, 7 of Swords, Queen of Cups here. Renewing your star. I feel like last week, Scorpio, we had some question about or doubting our star, doubting some sort of aspect of it, or just thinking on it, right? Not hesitating, but maybe hesitating is the right word, questioning, right? In some aspect or another here. And so it feels like there's a renewed commitment to your star, internalizing that, right? Getting down to what matters, focusing on what matters here. Queen of Wands, Three of Cups, Seven of Swords, Queen of Wands, Three of Cups, Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups here, coming into here, yeah, just maneuvering in a way that we are fully accepting and embracing what matters, focusing on what matters, right? Pessimistic, optimistic here. It feels very much like you, at the outset of this week, realize that you can look from both directions, right? You can see both sides, and oftentimes I feel, Scorpio, you can see both sides at the same time. The good and the bad, the light and the dark, right? And a lot of times, Scorpio, I feel like we can so easily gravitate towards that pessimistic side because we see it so clearly. Okay. For this week, it feels like we're very much focusing on priorities, focusing on the home, focusing on what matters, focusing on that optimism, and standing in that optimism, right? Standing in that glass half full energy as we move into this week. Seven of Swords kind of creeping up here, right? That energy kind of creeping through. But then with that Queen of Cups energy, you're ultimately saying, you know what is best for you. You know what you want to fill your cup with. And it feels like this kind of negativity, we don't want to live in that. We can accept it. We can understand that, you know, this is just being, I feel like, Scorpio, this is just you being realistic, but choosing to embrace the positive side of things, the glass half full side of things. And so kind of when this doubt comes in, there's this, it's almost like a test. Are we going to let this linger? Are we going to let this kind of ruin our vibe here? But then you very quickly, it feels like you're doing a vibe check and you're realizing, no, this isn't, I don't want to spend my time on that Seven of Swords. I want to spend my time cultivating this beautiful, wonderful life here. Knight of Cups in the reverse, Ten of Swords. Yeah, it could be that even just this idea of lingering in that words are hard today. I apologize. Leaning in that pessimism, that glass half empty kind of energy. We're kind of done with that, and we're figuring out how to move forward here. Right? Figuring out how to navigate our internal, our brain, rewire even for some of you, retrain your brain to when we see those kind of avenues of that vortex of cup half full energy or cup half empty energy kind of coming. How do we rewire our brain to say, no, we're not going to go there. We can see it. We can acknowledge it. But we're going to choose to be grateful instead. And that's kind of what I'm seeing for you this week, Scorpio. Okay. That's a bit too much. Yeah, that's way too many here. Let's get some clear and concise final thoughts here for Scorpio, please. Thank you. That's 3, but I'll go for it. The Fool, Two of Wands, Seven of Cups. Yeah. So again, this idea here, right, of we're just like the Fool energy, just breaking away from this kind of energy here with that Two of Wands, the Seven of Cups. There's a choice here, and sometimes there's a choice of which path we're going to see, right? Are we going to be grateful, or are we going to be upset for everything that we don't have? Or are we going to be grateful for the things that we do? Every day you have a choice. Every minute you have a choice, right? In how you're thinking. And it feels like you're very acutely aware of that, especially this week here. Queen of Swords, there's some new wisdom that's coming through, some sort of silver lining that we're learning here and opening the door for in order to internalize, right? Retraining our brain. Like I said, I feel like that's hitting for quite a few of you Scorpios, okay? We might not know the best way forward. We might not know the best path forward, but we understand that in this moment, we're choosing to be grateful, right? And that's what I see here for you. There's some aspect of yourself that you're not leaning on anymore. We're looking to new wisdom, new knowledge here, new perspective, and really focusing on what matters. You're being grateful for the good in your life and really making a conscious effort to be aware of that and embrace that as we head into this week, Scorpio. So that's beautiful. Truly. That's what I have for you as we head into this week. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. You take care. Pisces, hello. Let's get right into it and see what December 15th to the 21st has in store. Show me Pisces, please. It's been like that the whole day. Either a lot or none at all. Show me Pisces, please, for the week of December 15th. Show me Pisces, please. Thank you. All right, so we have the Two of Cups, Five of Wands here, and Eight of Cups in the shadow, Ten of Pentacles. You're closing something out here and showing up. Showing up to close something out. It could be how you exist in a Two of Cups partnership here that's coming to an end. And you're showing up to close that out. How many times have I said that? You're closing something out here this week, Pisces. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers here. Let's get some clarifiers here for Pisces. There's that devil. Okay. Interesting. You want to close something out, but does that thing want to close out for you? It's like we're closing it out, but are we closing it out? Are we closing it out for good? One more, please. One more, please. For Pisces. Thank you. King of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Ace of Wands in the reverse, Eight of Cups there. You're ending this, but do you want to? Do you want to be walking away from this? I don't feel like you do. So why are you walking away? Are you being stubborn, Pisces? You're like, me? What? The Devil, Nine of Cups, Four of Swords, Five of Wands, the World in reverse, Tower, Six of Cups in reverse. Whatever it is, you're not, it doesn't feel like you're listening to yourself this week. And whenever I see that Devil for you, I just pop up because it feels like, are we being stubborn? Are we burying our head in the sand a little bit? We've made up our mind to do something, but it's really perhaps not what you want. But it's not the ending that's meant for you. And then we have some Tower and that Six of Cups, which is kind of like, well, this is the consequence of, stumbling down this road here, Pisces. And then we get to a place where we're not happy and we're not listening to ourselves, right? So it feels like, yeah, there's some sort of ending that's happening here, but it's not that you really want it. It's almost like we're getting caught up in something here. And so we're kind of like, okay, well, I'll just end it then. But it feels like you don't want to end it. So why are you ending it? And then it's almost like, well, maybe with that ending, you're forcing an ending that you didn't really want. And then now Spirit is coming in with that Tower, the World in reverse and that Tower, and kind of saying, okay, well, you've closed the door on this, and this is could. Words are hard. I apologize. You've been, any energy that we send out to the universe, right? The universe will give to us, right? If we speak to the universe, I don't deserve that. And we speak it enough times, that's going to become our truth. And the universe will limit our opportunities based on what we speak, right? And so this kind of feels like that idea of, well, I don't want this anyway. And so Spirit is kind of coming through and saying, well, but I thought you did want it, but now you're saying you don't want it. Okay, well, now you don't want it. So that's fine. We're going to take this away. Right. And that's kind of one interpretation of this dynamic here of what I'm seeing, where it's almost like you're manifesting something that you don't want to happen by digging your heels in and being stubborn with something with that devil energy to make it happen. Almost kind of inconsequently. Yeah. You're showing up to make an end here, but it's not the ending you want. So why are we, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's backtrack here, right? Hold the bus. We don't want to be here. You're like, yeah, it's fine, until it's not fine, right? Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's it doesn't feel like it's fine. And you can hop off this train at any time, Pisces. Okay. Is what I'm seeing here. It feels like you're just not engaging in the way that you want to. And it feels like something has spiraled out of control a little bit for you. And that tower is kind of, it feels like it's trying to bring you back to, bring you back to earth a little bit and kind of stop this spiral from continuing on. But at what cost, right? At what cost? Let's get some final thoughts here for Pisces. Yeah, King of Cups in reverse, Six of Wands here, Nine of Swords, High Priestess. Perhaps you did something like, and you put it out, right? Again, it does feel like you're speaking something into existence that you didn't really want. Or that Six of Wands, Nine of Swords, High Priestess here. You know that, and there could even be this component where you even got on social media and said, I'm done, like, I'm done with this. And you've voiced it, not just to the universe, but you've spoken it to your network in some way, shape, or form. And it immediately, you knew, was not the decision or not what you had wanted to do. Right. And this does feel perhaps a little bit like some self-sabotage here. Not listening to yourself, that's for sure, especially with that King of Cups in the reverse here as our final thoughts. Not just not showing up and doing what we need to do, not holding ourselves emotionally accountable, and just not being the best version of ourselves that we know ourselves to be, right? So it does feel like this tower is kind of stopping this spiral. Again, at what cost? Pisces, you can always walk this back. You know that, right? You can always walk this back. I'm sending you love and light, and just really gentle energy, It feels like you, Pisces, with you especially, you lash out the most when you want somebody to be by your side. And that's what this feels like a little bit. Okay. So I'm sending you love and light, and just know that it'll be okay. Right. It'll be okay. And I wish you all the best. Okay. Today and always. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. You take care.